Alright, today I want to make a video on VMware. Why VMware? Well, it's been a long time since I looked at it, and I want to see what's new in VMware. So let's get started. This is their website. Let's go to products. Normally the name is VMware for the virtualization, from what I remember. But here you can see they call it vSphere Hypervisor. And to be honest, that's kind of confusing, and I'll tell you why. Let's go to products again. See, every time I shift the website, it goes to a different page. So that's one of the main issues that it's always had. Things are always all over the place. And here you go. You have vSphere Operation Manager, vSphere, and then you have the free products that I will be testing: vSphere Hypervisor, vCenter Manager. So the main thing I'm trying to get to here is that one of the issues is that it's kind of confusing the way all this stuff is set up and worded. It could be a lot better organized, I think, or at least to word it the same all the time, but it is what it is. And let me show you why I say that. Normally I use Send Server just because if you go to their website here, go to download, and it's right here. ISO's right there. You don't have to do anything else. Pretty straightforward just to get started. You don't have to go digging up the information that you need. So we got Send Server 7.3, depending on what you're using, but this is just an example. So going back here, you have to look around, especially if you don't know anything about them. It's kind of not right there where you can say, okay, this is what I need, or this is what I want to test. So you do have to do a little digging. So I'm doing that right now just for the purpose of showing you at least the basics of how to get started on it, or get VMware installed. So once you go into the website here, you want to go to the download, and then here we have the latest VMware's vSphere Hypervisor 6.5. and then if you go down a little bit, you have a few videos, which is nice. However, when you click on the video here, you'll notice that you can't make it any bigger than that, so you can't really see it. You can hear it fine, but it's not like a YouTube video where you can actually expand it and make it bigger and actually read it. So that's another little annoyance here. Once you'll see it now, just fast forward, and here's the maximize. See, even if I right click, it doesn't give me any options. So I'm clicking on the square and it doesn't do anything. So you can kind of see what's going on, but that's pretty much it. So they really need to work on those videos at least, just to get something that you can at least read. So that's another example of why this is not the best video that you'll see in terms of the installation. I'm sure there are many others in YouTube, but I'm going straight to the company, so this is not something you would expect from the company making the actual program or selling whatever package they have. But aside from that, that's what you get. And the next thing that's kind of a little bit annoying on their part is you have to create an account in order to download the actual program. I understand why they do it, but if you're in IT and you're just trying to test stuff and just kind of look at things, you're probably busy with doing other things all the time, and just this little annoyance is kind of can get in the way from you actually going and testing this stuff. So in my case, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. You can still do it, but so I just went ahead and jumped into Send Server, and it's been working great since I got it. I don't know how many years ago, and I've just been upgrading to test. So that's one other example of, you know, this VMware here. And as you can see, it says VMware vSphere Hypervisor. So The naming conventions are kind of weird, but yeah, that's what it is. And the reason I mention that is because everybody knows it as VMware. But then you have vSphere, Hypervisor, and 6.5. It's like 3 different names in one sentence. So that can be a little confusing, I think. But that's just me. The next thing, once you download the software, you want to create a bootable disk from the ISO. The ISO, I don't believe this, well, it may be. If you burn it on a CD, it may be bootable, but I'm not sure it is. I didn't really look and dig any more than just downloading the actual ISO. So what I did, I just went ahead and created my boot disk, and in order to do that, I use this Rufus, and basically I use one of these USB sticks, or it's a reader, but I put an SD card. It's a 2 gigabyte card that I have. So this program's been very good so far, and that's the reason I'm showing it to you, because I haven't had any problems at all, I don't think, making bootable disks. The only problem I did have was I put the USB stick into a USB 3 port in the front, and that didn't work. It froze. So I turned it off. I went ahead and moved it to a USB 2 port, which is what the case has on the bottom. So that worked. After that, the installation went through fine. And I'm not going to go into that because I'm going to post the pictures of that install later. But that's pretty much all you need. Once you do that, you just boot up and install it and follow all the prompts. So after that, let's see what's next. This is what you see once you installed it and log in from a different computer. This is the actual login screen for it. And let me see, these are all the other documents I was looking at, because I was trying to make a VM and I was already getting some errors just because I installed it right now, and that's just what it is. So let's go ahead and log in. So here's what that looks like. It looks kind of like your SAN server, which everything's on the left, and then you have the other screens on the right. So in that way it's similar, but of course there are many differences, I'm sure, but I haven't gone into it too much. So you get your host, you get all the information here, and another thing I want to point out is this. Even though I use the what was it? If I can find it again. The free product, it still says it will expire, license will expire in 60 days. So about that, I just dropped my mic. So that's kind of confusing. They do give you a license number, and I guess you have to put in there, but I haven't checked yet, and I just wanted to do the video to actually show you this before I did anything else. So I haven't even configured this. This is just like the default installation that you get. So here you get a couple of menus, here you get a couple of actions, and one thing I found out is that if you want to turn the or shut down the server, you have to go to maintenance mode in order to do that, and that's where all these documents that I was reading were what do I want to say? What I meant by that is that I wasn't sure what that was, so I went and looked it up, and then I realized that maintenance mode is just that. You put it in maintenance mode and it allows you to shut down without creating any havoc. This is another problem, but I'll get into that later. Let me see. So let's go to manage. That's the second screen here. You have system, hardware, licensing, packages, services, and security. users and users. So that's what those look like. I really don't want to go into each one just because it's going to take me forever, but I'll kind of click on them quick so you can get an idea, and just pause the video then. So that's pretty much it on those. And then you get all this stuff. So then we'll go to monitor, then you have CPU, and then you have a few more tabs here showing you other things. And I know this is going fast, but I'm already at 10 minutes on this video, so I'm trying to keep it short since it's just an introduction to the program here, or VMware EXSi. So we have virtual machines, create a new machine, then go through that, but I'll go through it in a second. You have the storage right here, click on it and it shows you all the information of the hard drive. Then you get monitor, more storage, that's what you get. Then we have networking, and then you have more tabs up here. And the one that you will be interested in when you first install this is TCP/IP. And then if you go to default TCP/IP stack, the reason you want to go into this is because when you go to edit settings, this is where you change the information that you will need for your network. So that was a little bit sunken in there, so I had to kind of click quite a few times just to find it, but that's what that is. It's not too bad once you play with it, so that's pretty much what the whole GUI is about. I know there are other things you can do with them, but I haven't looked into it either, so I just want to get through the basics. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and try to create a virtual machine just for the fun of it. So I'll go through the steps here, and let's see if we can create anything with just the default setup now. So I'll call it mate 1. So we're going to leave it at 6.5 because that's what I'm using. Select family, it's a Linux. Select, I like this part, which is just a couple of choices versus Sun. You have all the different versions of the OS like this instead of just one, but that's besides the point, I guess. So I'm just going to do Ubuntu Linux 64-bit. Click on next. Select the default storage, click on next, and it keeps telling me something about a limit here. I didn't put that on there, so I don't know why that keeps coming up. So I'm just going to take it out and click on next. I'm not changing anything, as you can see. I don't think I need to, but we'll see. So we got new mate, data store, 1024 memory 1. So pretty much all the defaults. I'm not changing anything. Capacity, hard disk 16 gigabytes, no dependent. So that looks okay. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. So as you can see, I've just installed this and I'm already getting errors here. So this is not looking good. It says, unfortunately, we hit an error that we weren't expecting. The client may continue working, but at this point we recommend you refreshing the browser and submitting a bug report. So let's see if I go to the details. It gives you a log here of some kind. It says script main.js blah blah blah. So I don't know what that means because it's all just numbers, IPs, and nothing much. It's not a constructor. Let's see. Configuration that configs SCSI I type is not a constructor. It's all cryptic, so I don't even know what that means. Especially if you're just testing for the first time, you're not gonna be expected to know this. So here's the other problem. Once I hit reload, look what happens. All that work that you just did, it went out the window. Because well, that's my email, but I'll cut that out anyway. So let me log in again to root. So now I'm back, and if I try to do another virtual machine, guess what? I gotta start over, and that's not working. So I'm just gonna call it 1. That's why I don't even bother doing anything there. It's a Linux 64. Alright, fine. Okay, let's go. Try it again. Okay, everything looks good. Next. I think that's good. Let's go and finish. The VM configuration was rejected. Please see browser console. What browser console? Again, another error that I have no idea what that is, but let's go up there. It says failed to create virtual machine. VM, the operation is not allowed in the current state. So you couldn't get more cryptic than that. I have no idea what they're talking about. But fail, the operation is not allowed in the current state. Let's see. Can we get any more information here? Log. So at the moment I'm just stuck. I have no idea what's going on. As you can see, VMware EXSi is working, but it's not letting me do anything. The one thing I did notice that it doesn't let me choose my image, so which is right here on my desktop. So let me look at that real quick again, just for the fun of it. And again, this is my first time actually using it again after a long time, so just bear with me. Let's try it again. Mate, virtual name, compatibility, guess. Let's do other just for the fun of it. Oh, what is this? Okay, nah, that's not what I want. So it has to be Linux. So we're doing data store. So normally you'd think you would be able to choose another data store, but I can't. So I'll keep it at that. The data store is one thing. I'm still looking to see where I'm supposed to point to my VM. Oh wait, let's try that. Tools, management, option, boot options. There we go. What do we got here? Okay, maybe that's why it's not working, but I don't see where I'm supposed to choose that. Console. Guess so it's locked. Nope. VMware tools. Power management. Nope. Plugin, source file. Nope. Choose which firmware should be used to boot the virtual machine. Just has that, so I can't choose anything. Huh. The port group or for network adapter, network 1 VM cannot be found. It has been assigned to VM network adapter. Where's my network adapter here? Well, there's nothing to choose here, so I can't change anything. Nope, nope. So I'm pretty much stuck at this point. I'm just gonna leave it, and as you can see, it's not letting me do anything. The client may be continuing, but and then this is my wall here. It just goes back in circles. So there you have it. That's your VMware 6.5 initial install. So I'm just gonna exit because I can see I'm at 20 plus minutes, just over 20 minutes right now. So oh, and that problem that I was having, actually I was looking for it here, creating a virtual machine fails. So you're already getting a bunch of errors without even having one VM installed, and you know, I don't know what to tell you. It's just that's what it is. So I had to look a couple more things just to kind of get a little more familiar with it, but I'll look into that and see if I can find what's going on there. But I really couldn't tell you what that is. But anyways, this is the initial install of VMware and the Hypervisor. And maybe that's why I'm gonna stick to this one on the test server for now, but I can use both. Either way, it doesn't make any difference. But I just hope I can find out what's going on with that. It may be some update. I don't know. I just downloaded all this today, so I really don't know. Okay, that's it for now.